So all these super long pins that hold the bucket on there, I'm gonna pull each one of those and I'm gonna kind of make some new holes in them, cut them down, and just kind of make them neater, make them nicer. I'm gonna put some machinery bushings on them. So I'll just kind of show you what I'm thinking. I don't want to have to spend more money on pins, but I kind of have a bit of OCD, so having all these pins with different lengths and stuff on them is kind of driving me nuts. It's close enough. All right, I'm gonna put a hole right here. So that was a little too tight. I'll have to do the other one just a little bit wider. Nice. So this pin right here is the last one that I want to pull out and drill new holes in it and cut it and everything, just like I did the others. I think they all look pretty good. But this one here must be somewhat rusted to this extension or this arm piece or whatever. No matter what I do, I can't pound it out. I can't even get it to rotate, you know, with the pipe wrench. So it must just be rusted or something. So there is a little hole here, which I assume a grease fitting would go in, but I don't know. See if this does anything. Could always apply heat, but I'll try this first. Jeez. This is a perfect time to try out my little induction heater here. It came with these 3 different little coils here. I think I can take this big one here, stick it around the end of this pin, and I think if I can heat it for long enough, that heat will transfer through the whole thing and then maybe it'll let go. So let's give it a try. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, see that? It's red. Thing don't want to move. Alright, so I finally got this pin to move. If it wasn't for the hot rod induction heater, I probably wouldn't have been able to get this. It's hot right now, so I can't touch it, but as you can see right there, maybe, I took one of the coils and kind of wrapped it around the center part and heated it until it was smoking. It wasn't red hot or anything, but I heated it enough that the rust or whatever must let go, because now I can turn it pretty easy with a pipe wrench. I basically just kept spinning it and hitting the end of that pin with this hammer, so that easy. So I hit this with the grinder, cleaned it up a little bit. It's a good pin, but it's too short. But by some miracle, looking through some of my scrap metal, I found this, which the diameter is absolutely perfect. So I just got to cut a piece of this off, maybe hit it with the grinder, smooth it out a little bit, make it look good, and then I can drill a couple holes in there, get this thing pinned back on. And while I'm at it, if you notice, it's actually bowed in on each side, and that is from applying down pressure with the bucket. So over time it squeezed these together, which is kind of impressive because this is decently thick steel. So for that to get pressed together like that, must have been some good downforce. So while I'm at it, I'm just gonna cut a little piece of scrap steel. I'm gonna shove it in between, weld it in there. I'm not gonna waste any time trying to pry these apart and spread them so then they're, you know, where they're supposed to be. They're fine where it's at. It's an old machine, whatever. But I'm gonna stick this in there so it's just a little bit more rigid and won't get any worse. Then I'm gonna clean up this whole piece anyways and put it back on. Just like new. I'll need to get some more bushings to make that a little bit tighter. It's old. It's going to be kind of loosey-goose. I can do my best to try to tighten it up with bushings and stuff, but it's still going to be kind of sloppy. Not a big deal. So I decided to go get some more of these 3/4 inch machine bushings. So I want to put a grease fitting right here. So these grease fittings that I just put in are actually, the threading doesn't match my tap and die set, but I got so close that I was able to kind of thread it in there. So I'm hoping the pressure of the grease doesn't blow them out. I think it's out of grease. Oh yeah, out of grease. Fine by me, this is garbage grease anyways. That crap right there at Harbor Freight sucks. If you're gonna get anything, get the red. Get this one right here. Premium red grease from Harbor Freight. I got this on sale for $7.99. Try this again. I'm gonna push all that old crap out of the line. Okay, I'm pretty happy with it because the more grease that actually stays in there, the better. So perfect. All right. Alright, so my wiring job is a little ridiculous. It's kind of a huge mess of wires now, but I zip tied the crap out of it. That way no wires accidentally touch each other. I don't want to have a fire out in my garage when I'm not home and have the place burned down, so I gotta be careful of that when this thing vibrates, whether or not, you know, anything gets loose and arcs anywhere. Anyway, I pretty much just rewired everything the same. I probably could have easily just bypassed some wires, like the little oil shut off and all that, but honestly I just kind of left it all hooked together. That's just how I did it. Got the key switch up here, which it's kind of funny because the ignition switch for this engine is the same ignition switch for the 22 horse V-twin, obviously because they're both Predators. So that fit in there pretty easy. I know it turns over, hopefully it starts. The nice thing about the wiring job I just did is that now that the key is right here by the steering wheel, I can stand on the right side of the tractor, and with my right hand I can run the choke, and with my left hand I can hit the key. I'm sorry it's dark, but the choke is right down in here. It's a terrible spot. I need to get some kind of, you know, choke cable thing figured out with this. It's just I can't seem to figure out how I want to do it because there's a lot of crap in the way, and I just haven't decided what I'm doing yet, but should be easier now to start it. So I'll start it with my hand not in there. Enough for me. Alright, so the last time I drove this thing, the rear end made some noise. I got online, I was kind of reading up on the rear ends in these things, and apparently they do have kind of a separate reservoir, or you know, they take oil separately from the hydraulic system. Everybody said add the same oil to the rear end that you use for hydraulic fluid. So in my case, it's 1540 motor oil. In case you don't know, a lot of these old case tractors, they use motor oils in the hydraulic system instead of your typical, you know, AW32 or 46 or universal tractor hydraulic, whatever. So I need to add to this. I already grabbed a wrench here. Thankfully this is loose. I think for now I'm just going to top this off, but if I top it off and then it still makes noise, maybe I'll drain the whole rear end, flush it a little bit, you know, and then try it again. I just hope nothing's broke here in the rear end. But last time I took this plug out, because I was just testing to see if I could break it loose, I didn't see any oil come out. Maybe I just need to add and then it should be fine after that, hopefully. In this case, I actually want it to take oil. Because if this were low, then that'd kind of be good evidence that that's what was making noise. This is a 9/16, by the way, if I didn't say that already. It's tight. Okay. Whoa. That was dirty. No wonder grease wouldn't get through that. There it goes. Alright, slowly but surely I'm getting all these small things done on the case here. So just finished up with all the pins on the front of the machine, so those are all good for now. A little recap here, I did get the key switch moved up here instead of down on the engine, and it works fine, so that's good. I'm gonna get a master disconnect switch, that way I can kind of, you know, cut the circuit on this thing, because I'm a little bit worried about my wiring job, because if anything falls apart and arcs, I don't want this thing to start a fire in the middle of the night. So the best thing for me to do would probably just be to put a disconnect switch on. So need to do that. I need to get something figured out with the choke cable, but for now, since I can have one hand on the choke and another hand on the key switch, I'm not too worried about the choke right now. And this engine starts up really good when it's warmed up, so it's not like I really need the choke more than once anyways. Fluid levels are good. Unfortunately, I do have what appears to be some sort of leak back here. You can see the shine there a little bit with the light, and I'm thinking it leaks out here by this axle, where the axle kind of comes out of that rear end housing. I gotta take a look at it. It never leaked before, but it's because I topped off the fluid on this. So I'm hoping I didn't overfill it and it's just slowly leaking out the excess. I have no idea. So I need to look into that. Before I even bought this machine, when I saw it go up for sale, I was watching videos and looking up things about the Case 646 and the, you know, just the 600 series of all these sweet loader tractors. There's a problem with a thing called a banana plate. I don't know if you can see that. See this thing right here? This is a banana plate. And it's a kind of a weird mechanism where if you choose to be in forward gear or reverse gear, you know, it moves a bunch of stuff down here. And over time they wear really bad. It seems to be a common issue with these things. And when they wear, you lose power with your hydro pedal when you want to go forward or backward. And this machine has a major problem going in reverse. It's extremely slow, and you really got to stomp on the pedal. So what that's telling me is that this either needs to be adjusted or replaced. Thankfully, there's a replacement option with Case Ingersoll Tractors Northeast, I think it's called. Sorry if I said that wrong. I see they have a kit, a little over 300 bucks, which I'd be more than happy to get and install. But for now, just because I'm funding some other projects, I'm gonna have to wait. But thankfully, for the most part, I can kind of deal with it for the time being. That totally explains why there was a piece of square metal tubing tack welded to this pedal. Whoever did that probably did it because they didn't want to have to push this pedal so hard, since the plate down there is worn out. So they put an extension on it, so then it was easier to push down. So if I just, you know, fix the banana plate, then there'll be no problems with this. You wouldn't have to push it really hard to get the mechanical stuff to move. So, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna make a little homemade thingy to put right here for, you know, extra grip on my foot, and a little, you know, just to make it kind of look cooler, whatever, give some grip. So unfortunately I have to deal with the banana plate thing, but aside from the banana plate, my next big worry is the hoses. There is a leaking seal in on the ram on the front that tilts the bucket, but I'm far more worried about the hoses on this machine. As you can see, they're old, really old, and they actually don't leak, which is kind of a miracle, but that doesn't mean they're not going to at some point, because it's a you know, it's a ticking clock. At some point one of these hoses is going to blow out. They all pretty much need to be replaced, other than obviously the hard lines are fine, and then there is a new hose down here, and these both look fine, both of these do. So, but it's gonna need some work in the future, but I'm hoping now that I can kind of get some use out of it, because it's a cool machine.